Well, hi folks, and thanks for being with me today. What I'd love to show you today is how we turned this quite plain and boring little courtyard into, I think, something quite special. And we did that with three things. We had a small, medium and large pond and waterfall kit. And you know, you wouldn't necessarily put three of those in your own property, but this was a great opportunity so that I could show you how easy each of those was and how you could use them either in the garden or on this hard concrete paved surface. Well, this is one of the medium waterfalls that we're going to put on the large pond here. As with all of our waterfalls, at the back of it and underneath is in this case an inch fitting. So I'll just grab the pump and some tube and we'll squash that over. As you can see, one person can actually do this. Two would make it a lot easier for this, but it's still, you know, this only weighs, I think, 25 kilograms, so 50-60 pounds, so it's not too heavy at all. A little awkward, that's the biggest problem. So now what I need to do is I need to grab the little sponge filter, which is great for keeping the leaves from getting caught in the propeller. Also helps keep the pond clean. We'll go into that later about keeping ponds clean and what's necessary for the small, medium and large ponds. This just squashes over the filter inlet intake, and like all ponds, you actually don't want to see that, so that's where this pump cover rock really works well. You can use real rocks, although the only trouble is when you've got to get to your pump, then you've got to move all the real rocks, whereas this is very light and easy. So now we'll just put our power cord over towards where our power outlet is, which is weatherproof power point. So now that's probably the hardest part of the whole job done. You know, it's taken minutes to do, and the rest is really good and work. So now you just got to be relaxed, not in a hurry, place some things around, and they can be a selection of many things. So I'm going to keep with keeping the natural look, which is what this is all molded from, natural rocks. So I'm going to get started with some of the bigger plants and then some nice bits of old weathered driftwood and some river stones. So just follow me as we move a few of these things around. That's tucked in there. You don't see the pot. If you did see the pot, then there's plenty of rocks and other ways of camouflaging those. We'll get a bit of flower and colour in there with some lovely azaleas tucked in at the back here. Okay. So usually you put your bigger plants and your bigger things around first and move from there to your smaller, more decorative little pieces. Keep in mind at all times, this is only what we call put and look. You just, if it doesn't look any good, it's no big deal. You pull it out and you move it again, or you place it somewhere else. Okay, some great bits of little wood here. They work really well too for covering your pots. So in this case I want to get some more plants tucked into here. So maybe that'll work like that. So whenever you're down in the local bush or an old farmyard and the farmer's knocked out all the bits of timber to make sure he's got more room for his cows on the on the open pastures, well, this way you grab some of these old bits of wood and use them to camouflage these edges and bring some realism to what you're doing. Next thing we need is some water plants sitting inside the pond, and they work for many reasons on helping your pond stay nice and clean and looking attractive. And one of the things they do, they shade the water, so they help to keep the sun from it. When that happens, then the algae doesn't grow as much, and the water lilies work fantastic for that in particular. They also eat the nutrients in the water, which then doesn't leave as much for the water plant, the algae to live on, so the algae doesn't take over your pond. A little bit of algae is not bad. It shows a healthy pond, but too much shows an unhealthy pond. So I'm just going to plug this in. This waterfall is meant to get water running right over to the right hand side, and it doesn't have to run as much as the left hand side. So I think you can start to see it's just starting to get a little trickle over there. That's all I want. Nature does that. Nature's, not all even and perfect and flat and straight. So that's fine. The water's just about there. There it goes. Starts to come over here. So it doesn't really need any adjusting. Only thing maybe you could do is once again just screw it to the surround of the pond, or even screw it to the timber on the house, and then it's going to handle any sort of movement at all. Great to just sit on the side of the pond here. They're made to do that. That way you can put some feed your goldfish. If this is splashing a little much, you can just grab a real rock and use that as a dispersion rock, which, just bear with me, I'll find one. This might be big enough to do that. There you go. So now all you have to do is sit back and enjoy.